Hello you all and welcome. So today the new version of Knife Age came out, version 1.0, and I'm gonna talk a little bit about the Saurian Ancient army. So let's start and walk through it a little bit, very overview and my point of what I think about the unit and how to use them and so on. So yeah, let's talk a little bit about the specialty with this army. And there's mainly two basic things, except for we are the cool big dinosaurs, of course. We have the cold blood, which makes us roll one extra die for leadership test, which is very good. One of the best special rule, army special rule in the game, I think. Born Predator, also very cool rule. Makes us reroll once to hit on some of our units, and yeah, it's very good. I would say. So with that said, let's jump over to the unit. So we have first, I'm gonna skip medic items and so on. We have our Saurian Warlord, which is a brutal Lord character. Pretty good actually. With some medic item equipment, he can become very dangerous. Riding on a Carnosaur and an Alpha Carnosaur makes him more awesome because everybody likes big dinosaurs on the board. Even though if I have not a good record of great success with it, but it's pretty cool. We have of course the Skink High Priest, which is our cheaper version of level 4 or level 3 wizard. What you lose when you take one of these is you are limited to only wilderness, heaven, light or nature magic. So if you want something special lore, you need to take the Coatl Lord, or otherwise take this guy. I think is very cool. I have experimented a lot lately with only taking 2 level 2, and I think you can put a scroll on one of them, and that's a better option so far actually. So I wouldn't take a Lord level caster at all, not even a Coatl Lord, even though it can be very good. It can fulfill the role as a battle standard bearer and take a lot more path of magic than the Skink Wizard, but is expensive. So yeah, it's very powerful, but very expensive as well. Over to the hero, we have of course our Saurian veteran, which is a smaller version of the Saurian Lord, of course. Pretty good stat line. Strength and toughness 5 is, yeah, pretty good, pretty solid with cold blood. Leadership 8, yeah, he can stand. It takes some damage with some cool medic item, and he can also ride on a Carnosaur, which is cool. So that's a good choice for you. Then we have the Skink Captain, and for any of you who have seen my battle report, I like to use them as a small chef running out of unit and stopping. I also have one of them for my battle standard bear. I think it's a very good. It's only 65 points, and you keep it away from combat. Yeah, it's good because sometimes you will roll that 666 on your leadership test, and that's good to have your BSB in range without risk of getting beaten down in close combat and so on. We also have the King Priest, which is an auto include for me in a bigger game. You can of course take the scroll, and yeah, you only have access to Path of Wilderness and Heaven. I think that's 2 very solid spells. Wilderness and Heaven probably have one of the best signature spells of the game, to be honest. Blizzard and Beast Within, very cool spell, very good to have. And we also have the Cayman Ancient, very cool. I would love if he could have a little bit better stat line than he does, but I tried him out during my recent game, and I pretty like it, especially the buff that give your cavemen weapon skill 4. You don't think that big boost, but since they are striking against mostly monsters and weapon skill 3 stuff because of their high strength, that's a big boost actually, so very good. And yeah, nothing more to say about him, except I have not really found a cool model for him, so I used a Carnifex last game, so I will need to find something cool to use him for. Then we go over to the core. We have the basic Saurian warrior. I think they are a very solid choice. They can take and deal a lot of damage with Cold Blood and Predatory Fighter. They are very good. They have a 4-up in base, and then they can take their totem animals, so give them some extra, like fear, fighting extra rank, +1 movement, or reduced armor piercing. Very good stuff actually. A very solid infantry block. So good, I would say that I might even skip Temple Guard and roll with Saurian warriors instead. Then we have the Snake Swarm, which I think is a very good unit actually. They can work as Chef, they are unbreakable, so no panic on them, and they have Venomous Tide special rule, so if you have one of those swarm in combat with one of your units, the unit gains poison attack, which is a very good, especially if you have Born Predator special rule combined with that. That can make your swarm much more the unit next to the swarm much more deadly, especially if you're facing off high toughness, low armor save stuff. And we got the generic Skink Braves, shaft duty, I would say. They cannot be skirmish and have poison, so yeah, shaft, secure objective maybe, and now you can have 10 of them, and the banner 70 points, running around the board. They are fast, movement 6, and they can't secure objectives, which is kind of good. You can also put Cayman in them. I would say no straight away, because every attack is randomized and could potentially kill the Cayman before you even get into combat. So yeah, I don't like it, but yeah, I guess you can certainly find some way to find a good use for them. So let's move over to special. Here we have the Skink Hunters, the poison unit that have skirmish and can be upgraded to Chameleon. Yeah, so that's cool. Chameleon is basically the same as it was before. Now they got Vanguard instead of Scout, and to be honest, Vanguard is such a much better rules than Scout, because Scout 18 inches I think still is, yeah, too far away. So that's not really good. Temple Guard, a beefier version of the Saurian. They got the Halberd and +1 weapon skill. I would say not worth it, even though they got the bodyguard rule. If you have a Slan, of course you can probably put it into the Temple Guard, but then the risk of exploding from a miscast is kind of high. So I will unfortunately leave Temple Guard back home, unfortunately. Maybe if you have a Saurian Warlord tank, but yeah, potentially this could be a good unit then, I would say. We have the Raptor Riders. I would say basic cav. I have not used them very much, and since I also play Kingdom of Akatane, I think that using cav is not... I want a different playstyle when I play the Saurian Ancient, so I haven't played them too much. Could be a good flanking unit. The stupidity is kind of dangerous, but Leadership 8 cold-blooded, that don't happen too much. They got Lance now, so that's a good buff. We jump over to the Cayman. I run a big block of them. Last game I had worked very well. I would would use them with Halberd, because then I have initiative 2 instead of always strike last. They can be given light armor, so a 3 up armor save. Even though it's a big, expensive unit, I think it's worth it. It's very cool and have a potential very hard hitting power. Sky Riders is the next one. Very cool unit. They can be a Petrodon, which I would say work more as Chaff. It's a little bit faster, or taking out Chaff with the release the lock special attack. Your opponent suffer a D3 strength 4 hits for each Petrodon. That could potentially just kill a Chaff unit right off, but nah, I would say no to this one as well. Ramphadon is the Frenzy, armor piercing, lethal strike. You can place present on a, let's see, 2 enemy units now. Yeah, it's a cool unit. I like the models for it. Yeah, it's a cool idea. I myself think Frenzy, no. It's cool and all, but Frenzy, I say there's too much negative stuff with Frenzy than there is good with it. So I would try to avoid Frenzy unit, but that's maybe just my playstyle. And then we got my favorite unit in the whole army, the Trio Scooters. I run 3 of these last game, but because they are very good. I think especially if you have the Altar of the Snake God, every friendly unit within 6 inches gets poison attacks, and if they already have poison, they get 5 up. So if you have your Jungle Swarm in to combat, and then you have the Triscutus next to it, you have a 5 up poison on the unit. Then you also have the ability to cast Purifying Touch, which will increase poison to no maximum level, so to say. So you can get up to 3 up poison onto your Cayman or your Saurian warrior with the Born Predator rules. So you will probably hit all of your attacks, or most of your attacks at least, if you get that brutal combo off. That one I have been trying out lately, and I think it's a brutal combo. Also, the Sun Indian is a very cool +1 weapon skill. Yeah, could be very useful, going from 3 in general, all of the units have, to 4, very good. Then the ability to cast Burning Brightness, very good to clear out chaff and dead units that are small and brutal, especially the ghost stuff. Yeah, very good little tool to have in your toolbox. Moving on to the rear section, we got the Weapon Beast. I would say this, it's fixed. It was really brutal before, but now you can only take 4 of them to a maximum. We have the Spearback version, which shoots 2d6, strength 4 hits, quick to fire, armor piercing 1, very good. And we have the Salamander, who spits fire like an artillery weapon, also very good, strength 4. Yeah, so really brutal stuff. I love this kind of guys, especially that they are skirmish and very movable. They can move around the field and taking out stuff, and yeah, I really like this unit. It's a very cool little unit to use. Then we get the Pterosaur, also very cool model. I think I love all monsters, no secret there. This is a cool one. You can have, of course, the Engine of the Ancient. I think is kind of good, but the problem is it's kind of expensive, 280 points, and you really want sharpened horns on it as well. So then we're up in 295 points, and there is cannon bullshit everywhere, unfortunately. But I like this unit. It's very cool. Another guy I will probably play a little bit more later on is the Stygiosaur. Very cool. I love the idea of it running around spitting, and having the predatory roar is, I would say, very much a must upgrade for it. I think the wizard is maybe you kind of overuse. You don't get too many power dice. You don't need another wizard. I think if you don't have a lot of wizards, okay, the upgrade to champion could be good to get. You have good spells, Beast Within and Redwood Shaft, good spells. But yeah, I would say Predatory Roar is the upgrade you want. So he is 140 points, which is cool. He now have he only have D3 stomps, unfortunately, but otherwise he's a cool monster. He's fast as well, movement 7. He can run around in the flank and hassling a lot. Use the Predatory Roar when you need it. Very good, I would say. Yeah, so a very cool option for you. And that's basically what I think about the Saurian Ancient. And yeah, I would like to hear your thoughts about it, please. So write your comments below, and I will of course answer them as soon as I can. Feel free to like if you like it, and yeah, start subscribing if you haven't already. That's it, y'all. Have a nice one.